Processes involved in counseling. Pay 8. B. Odisha B.Ed and Education Honors. Processes involved in counseling. 1. Introduction. Counseling is a professional helping process that facilitates an individual's self understanding, personal growth, and decision making through systematic and meaningful interaction. It is not a one time conversation or mere advice giving session but a planned, goal oriented, and ethical relationship between the counselor and the counselee, client student. To make counseling effective and meaningful, it must follow a systematic process, typically divided into stages or steps. Each stage plays a vital role in ensuring that the individual's concerns are understood, appropriately addressed, and resolved in a supportive environment. Understanding the processes involved in counseling helps teachers, school counselors, and guidance professionals in conducting effective and developmentally appropriate counseling in schools. 2. Definition of counseling. According to Carl Rogers, counseling is a series of direct contacts with the individual which aims to offer assistance in changing attitudes and behavior. Ensert defines counseling as a helping process that uses the safety of a special relationship to help individuals to mobilize their resources to deal with developmental concerns and personal issues. 3. Importance of the counseling process. Ensures structured interaction between counselor and student. Facilitates trust building and rapport. Helps in proper diagnosis of the problem. Promotes goal setting and action planning. Allows follow-up and modification of strategies. Ensures confidentiality and ethical standards. 4. Major stages processes involved in counseling. The process of counseling is typically divided into the following stages: establishing relationship, rapport building, problem identification and exploration, setting goals and planning interventions, counseling intervention problem solving stage, termination and follow-up. Evaluation of counseling effectiveness. Each of these is explained below with examples suitable to school situations in Odisha. 5. Detailed explanation of counseling process. 1. Establishing relationship, rapport building. This is the foundation stage where the counselor initiates a relationship with the student. Trust, warmth, respect, empathy, and confidentiality are the core ingredients of this phase. Key features: creating a comfortable and non-judgmental environment, demonstrating genuine interest and empathy, ensuring the students that the conversation is confidential, encouraging open communication. Techniques: active listening, open body language, use of student's name, non-threatening questions. Example: in a rural school of Odisha, a class 8 student hesitates to talk about academic failure. The counselor starts with friendly conversation about hobbies or daily life before slowly exploring school-related issues. 2. Problem identification and exploration. Once rapport is established, the counselor helps the student identify the nature and depth of the problem. The client may not always know their exact issue, hence, the counselor explores emotional, behavioral, academic, or social challenges. Key activities: collecting personal, academic, and behavioral data, using techniques like observation, interview, checklist, and psychological tests, understanding the student's background, including cultural and socio-economic context. Skills required: empathic listening, clarification and probing, identifying feelings behind the words. Example: a tribal girl in a residential school appears depressed. Upon exploration, the counselor discovers she is homesick and facing language barriers in class. 3. Setting goals and planning interventions. After understanding the issue, the counselor and the client work collaboratively to set realistic and achievable goals. These goals may be short term, example, improving attendance, or long term, example, career planning. Key points. Goals must be smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound. The counselor may decide on a directive, non directive, or eclectic approach depending on the nature of the problem. Developing a counseling plan with clear steps and timelines. Example: a student lacking motivation may be guided to set a goal of completing homework on time for 2 weeks. The counselor supports him through reinforcement and progress tracking. 4. Counseling intervention problem solving stage. This is the action phase where the actual counseling strategies are applied. It involves enabling the student to think critically about the issue, explore options and consequences, make decisions and build coping skills. Types of interventions. Cognitive restructuring, changing negative thought patterns. Behavior modification, using rewards or consequences. Relaxation techniques for anxiety management. Career counseling, aptitude-based stream selection. School-based example. A class 10 student is stressed about board exams. The counselor teaches deep breathing exercises, time management, and how to break large tasks into smaller goals. 5. Termination and follow-up. Termination is the planned conclusion of the counseling relationship. It occurs once the goals are achieved or the student feels empowered enough to handle the issue independently. Key aspects. Reviewing progress made. Discussing relapse prevention strategies. Providing resources or referrals if necessary. Encouraging the client to apply strategies in real life. Follow-up ensures that the gains of counseling are maintained over time. Example: after sessions on improving classroom participation, a shy student begins to respond more in class. The counselor meets again after 1 month to ensure continued progress. 6. Evaluation of counseling effectiveness. The final process is the systematic evaluation of the effectiveness of counseling interventions. Methods: student feedback, teacher-parent observation, behavioral changes, attendance, grades, social behavior, counseling records and reports. Importance: ensures accountability, helps in improving counseling strategies, documents success stories and challenges for future planning. 6. Principles underlying counseling process. Respect for individual dignity, confidentiality and ethics, client's right to make decisions, cultural sensitivity, non-judgmental attitude, scientific and goal-oriented approach. 7. Counseling process model, real-life scenario, Odisha context. A class 9 boy from a poor rural background in Odisha shows signs of irregular attendance and aggression. Process applied. Rapport building, the counselor meets casually during school lunch hours and builds trust. Problem identification, discover he is working part-time to support family and feels angry due to peer teasing. Goal setting, improve attendance, reduce aggression, build coping skills. Intervention, behavior therapy, positive reinforcement, and family counseling. Termination, once he regularly attends and reports emotional improvement. Follow-up, home visit after 2 months shows sustained improvement. 8. Challenges in counseling process in Odisha schools. Lack of trained counselors in government schools. Cultural and linguistic diversity, students speak tribal languages. Stigma around counseling seen as only for mentally ill. Poor infrastructure and privacy for one-to-one counseling. Heavy workload on teachers, leaving little time for counseling roles. 9. Strategies for improvement. TrainB.ed. Students in basic counseling processes. Encourage peer counseling programs. Integrate counseling into school curriculum. Ensure community participation to overcome stigma. Use technology for guidance in remote schools. 10. Conclusion. The counseling process is a scientific, dynamic, and humanistic journey. From building trust to achieving behavioral or emotional change, each step requires planning, empathy, and skill. In Odisha's socio-cultural context, where students face challenges like poverty, language barriers, and parental illiteracy, effective counseling can bring transformative change. As future educators or counselors, understanding the step-by-step counseling process empowers us to become catalysts in students' personal and academic development. Let us remember, every student has potential, we just need to listen, guide, and walk beside them through the structured process of counseling.